Alright, this is a training video for a two-person high shoulder carry to a beam raise. The first thing the trainees are going to do is line up as they are right here. They're going to say their names and they're going to go through and do what they need to do.
Sir, Firefighter Marino and Firefighter Mesqua are going to prepare and do a two-person high shoulder carry to a beam raise, sir.
Okay, so after they say that, they're going to go into their positions. The first person who's saying the command is the butt person. The second person that's going toward the tip is the tip person. They can then move into their positions as they are right now. So butt persons line up between the second and the third rung on the front of the ladder or toward the butt of the ladder. The tip persons line up between the second and the third toward the tip. Okay, after they lined up and they're ready to go, the next thing they're going to do is prepare to beam ladder.
Prepare beam ladder. Beam ladder.
So every command has a preparatory. They prepare to beam, then they beam. Now they're going to prepare to lift ladder and then lift ladder. Paying attention to their inside legs with their knees at the ground. They're going to lift with their legs up, carrying the ladder appropriately.
Prepare lift ladder. Lift ladder.
Okay, if you notice their hands, that inside hand is right on the beam itself and not on the shoulder. It's on the hand is on the beam, as you can see there. Their top hand is covering the bottom portion of that beam, and at this point they're going to be ready to move out.
Prepare to move out. Move out.
When they move out, they check for overhead wires and obstructions and make sure that there's nothing in the way that's going to cause them any problems.
Checking all overhead wires and obstructions. All clear.
All clear in the rear.
Okay, from this point, they've walked with this ladder. They're coming in. Now they're going to prepare to raise the ladder. So the command is prepare to raise ladder, raise ladder. On prepare to raise ladder, the butt person's hands are going to come down into a position like so, where they'll have their hands ready to go for the whole evolution. So go ahead, guys.
Prepare to raise ladder.
Notice where his hands are. His outside hand is all the way over, his inside hand's in. His right foot goes right to the bottom of the beam.
Raise ladder.
At this point, he's pulling back. As your butt person's pulling back, the tip person's walking the ladder in hand over hand, and he's going to come in and bring his foot in. From that point, the butt person can then start footing the ladder because they need to pivot this ladder towards them.
You're going to pivot on your foot towards you on 3. 1, 2.
So for most ladder evolutions that we do, we have our right foot footing the ladder. So both guys' right feet are footing. Their right hands are up high. Their left hands are down low. So they're going to be in that cross action. From this point, they're ready to extend the fly.
Prepare to extend fly section.
When they prepare to extend fly, they're going to call out for fingers and toes. We want to make sure fingers and toes are clear. We're going to make sure our dogs are unlocked. So you're going to hear them say these commands as they go through.
Taking all fingers and toes.
All fingers and toes clear. No fly section.
1, 2, dogs unlocked.
1, 2, dogs unlocked.
We call it out anytime a dog is locked, anytime it's unlocked, we need to call it out.
1, 2, dogs locked.
1, 2, dogs locked.
From this point, the ladder's fully extended or extended to the point it needs to be. We need to get the ladder into the building because this is the most unsafe point. What has to happen is the tip person's foot has to go on that bottom rung first before the butt person ends up moving out.
Prepare lower ladder in the building.
Notice this position of his foot. We want it somewhere toward the middle of that rung. I'm sorry, all the way to the middle of the rung. If it's in the middle of the rung, it'll ground that ladder properly. His hands are right here on the rung, but person's hands are over here on the beam itself.
Lower ladder in the building. Count it down till contact.
Contact in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They counted the ladder down. They didn't slam it into the building. They placed it into it gently. Okay, from this point, they're going to tie off the halyard and get ready to climb. Or step it in as needed. Check their 4 points of contact and proper climbing angle.
Sir, this ladder has all 4 points of contact, proper climbing angles, ready to be climbed, sir.
Okay, once they call out that it has 4 points of contact and proper climbing angle, they can tie off their ladder. They can get ready to lower it depending on what the evolution is going to call for. Right here, we'll demonstrate how to tie off a ladder so you can see that, and we'll continue on. So the first thing you want to do is pull at eye level. You grab the halyard by that eye level, and he's going to pull the halyard all the way down. He'll then wrap it, depending on how long that halyard is, either to the bottom rung or to the second rung from the bottom, depending on, again, how much tail you have left. And he's going to continue wrapping that tail until he has a working amount of line that he could use. Next step is going to be to actually cross this top portion of the halyard that is keeping the dogs locked. By crossing that, he's able to lock this portion of the halyard. He's going to go underneath the rung and right back on through the halyard that he pulled over. He'll pull that tight, cinching it tight each time. Next step, he'll just go right across again, pull right back through his loop, and tie it off. Any tail that's left, you can throw a half hitch in there. It's just another way to keep the halyard out of the way. And then once his halyard is tied off, the ladder is fully ready to climb. Okay, from that point, if we're all done, so after we've done our evolutions, we've climbed up, we've come down, now it's time to remove the ladder from the building. So they're going to go in the reverse order. They're going to untie their halyard, they're going to prepare to remove the ladder, and go through that. When they pull the halyard out, they do make sure that it's not going to cross any part of this beam that's going to become a tripping hazard or bring the ladder on top of the halyard. So it's nice and out of the way and clean. They're ready to remove.
Prepare to move ladder from building, checking all overhead wires, obstructions, all clear.
All clear the rip.
Remove ladder.
Again, another critical point right here is that tip person didn't move his foot until the butt person came in and footed the ladder. So butt person's footing the ladder. At that point, the tip person came off just like they showed you, and they're ready to go.
Prepare to retract fly section. Retract fly section.
Checking all fingers and toes, all clear.
All clear.
1, 2, dogs unlocked.
1, 2, doors unlocked.
Fly section approaching.
Fly section approaching.
If you have a halyard that's a little bit tight, one thing you can do is try to tighten it like that, or step on that bottom rung, or just use your hands and move it.
You're going to pivot on your foot towards me on 3. 1, 2, 3.
So because they brought this up in a beam raise, they're going to take it down like that. They pivot in their feet. Notice the butt person and the tip person are still somewhat footing this ladder, but this butt person's then going to step in with his right foot onto the back of that beam, ready to lower it.
Prepare lower ladder. Lower ladder. Still up in 3.
He's going to count him down 3, 2, 1, stop, so he knows where he needs to be. Again, somewhere between the second and the third rung over there. He'll come in, step into it, lift it up between the second and third rung.
Good. Yep. Prepare to move out. Move out. Ladder coming around.
All clear the rear.
Ladder coming around.
All clear the rear.
Prepare to stop. Stop. Prepare ground ladder. Ground ladder.
And that's how you do a two-person high shoulder carry to a beam raise.